Greetings, I welcome you again to this YouTube channel for Kakuru Benard. Today we are going to be looking at Senior 1 ICT, both Paper 1 and Paper 2. So in Paper 1, we have this paper for November, which I named KABS ICT Resource Center, Senior 1 End of Year Examination, ICT Paper 1. So this paper takes 1 hour and 45 minutes. When it comes to the instructions to students, the paper consists of 2 sections, A and B. It has 3 examination items. Section A has 1 compulsory item. Section B has 2 items. You are supposed to answer 1 item from section B. So in total, you answer 2 examination items. So when it comes to section A, item 1 is compulsory. This is the scenario. You can look at the scenario and the tasks attached. Item 1, Busia Public Library has launched a digital reading program allowing remote access to books and live sessions with authors. This initiative is expected to benefit students and readers across Uganda who may not be able to travel to the library. Tasks. Part A. Explain how Busia Public Library can use ICTs to conduct live reading sessions with authors from students in remote areas. Part B. Identify and explain the safety precautions that should be observed by participants during these virtual sessions. That is item 1 compulsory. So here we are supposed to identify different ICT tools and how best we can take care of them. Then section B, item 2, Nakabugu Vocational School is hosting an entrepreneurship workshop where the facilitator will demonstrate how different types of handcrafts can be marketed online. The facilitator needs to display images, videos, and product designs to the group of 80 attendees. Task. Advise the facilitator on which computer hardware devices they will need and how each device will function to support their presentation effectively. That is item 2. Remember in section B here, the instructions are saying we answer only 1 item. Let's look at item 3. With item 3, a journalist from Jinja is working on a story that requires video footage and photos which she saved on an external hard drive. However, her editor needs these files quickly and she cannot physically bring the drive to the editor's location. Task. Suggest ways the journalist can send these files to the editor without using the external hard drive directly and explain the steps involved. So here we are going to pick 1 item, but for the case of this video session, I'm going to provide approach and expected responses to all these items. So here we have our expected response. So here we are going to look at the evaluation grid or the scoring guide and the expected response for each of the above items. So before we dive into the expected responses, I continue to encourage you to grab a copy of these books. These books range from Senior 1 up to Senior 4. Senior 1 Learner's Book, Senior 1 Teacher's Guide, Senior 2 Learner's Book, Teacher's Guide, like that up to Senior 4. Grab a copy of these books. More to that, there are these other resourceful books. This coming year, we need to put much emphasis in website designing so that we are ready by the time the finals come. So here there are books of designing websites using Expression Web. Grab this copy in this holiday and plan accordingly. Learn more things. It is step by step so that by the time the studying resumes, we are having the best skills, the best approaches to designing websites. More to that, there is this copy of designing websites using WordPress. It is also a step-by-step guide. With this book, the practical examples that are there, the steps that are involved in, you are able to teach yourself designing websites using WordPress. The same for Expression Web. More to that, there is this ICT Mastery for Uganda's competence-based curriculum. It is from senior 1 to senior 4. It is a guide to theory and practical success. So grab this book, whether you are a teacher, you are a facilitator, whether you are a student in senior 1, senior 2, senior 3, senior 4. Grab this book. You will love it. It has all those practical activities. It has the theory scenarios, and everything has its guide. So grab a copy of this book, grab a copy of this other book, grab a copy of this book, and a copy of these books. You will be good to go in ICT for the new lower secondary curriculum. Call me on these contacts, WhatsApp me or send me an SMS. I will be able to respond to you on how best you are going to get these very books. So going forward, we can now look at the scoring guide for these numbers and the evaluation grid. When it comes to item 1, where we were told to explain how this library can use different ICT tools to conduct live reading sessions with authors for students in remote areas. Let's now identify these ICT tools that are required to conduct the reading sessions that are live. So to start with is to look at the evaluation grid. How are we going to score this number? 1, you must give a focused introduction, that is 1 mark. Then you must explain how ICTs can be used for virtual sessions. If you identify and explain at least 5 or more tools, these ICT tools such as video conferencing tools, streaming software tools, and even including a learning management system, at least you get 4 scores for identifying and explaining. If you identify 3 to 4 tools, that is 3 scores. Then if you identify and explain 1 to 2 tools, you get at least uh, one uh, 1 mark or 1 score, like that. Then part B, you must identify and explain the safety precautions while using these tools. If you have identified and explained 5 or more precautions, you get 5 scores. So these ones include access controls, maybe data privacy and secure technologies that you have identified. Then if you have identified and explained the 3 to 4 precautions, that is 3 scores, and the scores keep on reducing depending on what you have provided. So finally, you have to give a conclusion. The conclusion must match with your responses or must match with uh, the scenario itself or the task. More to that, let's now look at expected responses on how best we are supposed to give an introduction. We explain how ICT tools can be used for virtual sessions. Then we give the safety precautions, and finally a conclusion. So let's dive into the solutions. So as I give these solutions, I expect you to be learning more things from here. As I give the responses, see how I'm giving them, the tools and all that. Let's get started. Item 1, expected responses. And so here, we begin by giving an introduction. The use of ICT tools enables Busia Public Library to extend its services beyond physical boundaries, offering students and readers in remote areas access to enriching experiences such as live reading sessions with authors. To ensure successful and secure virtual interactions, appropriate ICT tools and safety measures must be implemented. So this is our introduction. So with our introduction, we expect 1 score. Then let's look at how best we are going to use ICT tools to conduct reading sessions with the authors. So, to facilitate live sessions, Busia Public Library can follow these steps. 1. Setting up hardware and connectivity. We shall need hardware equipment such as a computer, a webcam, microphone, speakers for clear audio, visual communication. So those who don't know some of these devices, I have displayed them here. So here, one may need at least to have a computer. So let me put an arrow here so that one is able to see one can have a laptop, or you decide to have a desktop computer set. Then we are talking about a webcam. That is how a webcam looks like. Then we need a microphone. We also need speakers. So these are the gadgets that I have included in this visual, in this presentation for your reference in case you don't know how speakers looks like, a microphone, a webcam, a laptop, or a set of a desktop computer. Then, more to that, we are looking at internet connectivity. We need to ensure that we have a high-speed internet connection to support uninterruptible streaming and interaction. So here, we have identified these ICT tools, and we are going to at least explain how best they can be used. Briefly, we have said these gadgets are for clear audio-visual communication. Then the internet will be to support uninterruptible streaming and interaction. So let's now select the different ICT tools. The hardware, we have talked about them. Let's now talk about at least some of the software part. We need video conferencing tools such as Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Google Meet, or any other for hosting live sessions. These tools will allow video and audio communication. They will also allow screen sharing and chat interaction. Then, more to that, we shall need live streaming options. We can consider platforms like YouTube, Facebook to reach a wider audience. If interactive features are not required, we can simply do streaming on YouTube, we can do streaming on Facebook. More to that, we need a learning management system, an LMS. So we need to integrate with platforms like Google Classrooms. We need Moodle. One can talk about WPLMS, that is based on WordPress, to share session schedules and supplementary materials and reading content. So this is why we need an LMS. I've talked about some of these technologies. We are saying we can use Zoom. Someone can mention of WebEx, Google Meet, Zoho meetings, Microsoft Teams, so that we see people interacting on a video live session. Then we can also look at others like Google Classrooms. So if you have you can go on Gmail and type, you can go on Google, you type Google Classrooms. You may need to create an account so that you are able to interact with Google Classrooms. So here you can choose an account to use. Maybe I choose this one. So within this one, you are able to have online classes. For example, you can see online class senior 3, online class senior 2, like that, like that. So with these Google Classrooms, you are able to upload content. The learners are able to find it there. If they are for library materials, you provide learning materials there, and people are able to find them and read them from there. So from there, someone can put materials from there, and you are able to find and read materials from the online classroom. Okay, so here the materials can load and you read them. We may need a learning management system. For example, this one is a learning management system based on WPLMS. So it has a number of features, can send messages, can have notification, can have friends there, can have Zoom meetings, etc, etc. So when I click here and I'm reading my course, I'm able to find all materials there. So here are the materials. I can start an assignment. I can continue interacting with these materials on a learning management system. So after looking at a learning management system, we need to see how best can we engage our participants. One, we need to share session details. The session details such as meeting links, timing and guidelines can be shared via email, can be shared via school networks or social media platforms. Like you can share them on Facebook, you can share them on WhatsApp. Then more to that, to engage participants, we need to use interactive tools such as having polls. The polls can be on WhatsApp, the polls can be on Zoom while the sessions are going on. We can also use chat features to encourage active participation. Then, more to that, we need to record and share the materials. So we need to record the sessions for participants who are not able to join the live and who are not able to join the live sessions. We can share links through the library portal. We can share these links through the social media platforms. So here we said at least if you have identified and explained the tools, remember the tools include both software and hardware. If you have explained the tools and the steps how best they can be used, so here we are saying at least a minimum of 4 scores if you have identified at least 5 and more tools and platforms, or the hardware and the software platforms needed to conduct these live sessions. Then part B, we are supposed to look at how best can we take care of them, identify and explain the safety precautions that should be observed by participants during the virtual sessions. So here, participants must follow these safety measures to ensure secure and respectful engagement. One, access controls. We can use unique meeting IDs and passwords for each session to restrict unauthorized access. More to that, we can enable waiting room features to screen and admit participants manually. More to that, we need data privacy. Avoid sharing sensitive information such as personal phone numbers, email address, or physical locations during live sessions. We can also use generic usernames instead of full names if privacy is a concern. More to that, we need appropriate communication. We are going to encourage participants to use respectful language and follow guidelines for engaging with the author and other attendees. We need to monitor chat rooms for inappropriate behavior and disable the chat feature if necessary. More to that, secure technology. Here, we need to ensure that participants use updated software and antivirus protection on their devices to avoid malware risks. Then, we need also to advise against clicking suspicious links shared during the sessions. Then, number 5, safety for younger participants. Here, for minors, we require parental consent or supervision during sessions. We need also to educate students about the risks of interacting with strangers online and the importance of reporting any suspicious behavior. So this is safety for young participants. And number 6, we need environment and breaks. We are going to advise participants to use quiet environment, that is a well-lit space for the session to avoid distractions. More to that, we need to encourage breaks after every 1 hour to prevent fatigue and eye strain. So here we are saying at least a minimum of 5 responses in regard to safety precautions. At least you get 4 scores. More to that, let's look at the conclusion. By leveraging ICT tools and following strict safety guidelines, Busia Public Library can successfully host virtual reading sessions with authors, fostering a love for reading and learning among students and readers across Uganda. Ensuring safety and respectful participation will enhance the program's effectiveness and reach. So this is our conclusion, and our conclusion will take 1 score. And we are saying that with this item 1, 11 scores. Remember, 1 mark for introduction, 1 score for conclusion, then 8 marks within the middle. That one will make it 10. The format of the document. So when you look at the format of the document, which carries 1 score, total 11. Then we can now head to section B. We begin with item 2, where we are supposed to advise the facilitator on which computer hardware devices they will need and how each device will function to support their presentation effectively. So feel free to read through the scenario again. We need to start with the scoring guide or the evaluation grid, how best we are going to evaluate the responses. You need to provide a focused introduction, which will take 1 score. Then from there, we identify and explain the hardware devices for the presentation. More to that, if you have identified and explained 5 or more hardware devices, you get 4 scores, and the scores will keep on reducing depending on the number of hardware devices you have identified and explained. Among these ones include projector, laptops, speakers, microphones, etc. More to that, you need to explain how each of the hardware supports the presentation. If you have given your details, at least 5 responses and above, you get 4 scores, and the scores will keep on reducing depending on how you have explained how each hardware device supports the presentation. And you need to give a conclusion, which will take 1 score. So this one is also going to take 11 scores in total. Let's get started and give the introduction. So here, delivering a presentation to a large audience requires reliable and suitable hardware to ensure there is clear communication and engagement. For the entrepreneurship workshop, the facilitator must use devices that effectively display multimedia content and accommodate the needs of the attendees. So this is our introduction, and our introduction carries 1 score. So let's now recommend different computer hardware devices that will support the presentation and their function. So here, remember some time back we had looked at these devices, for example, a laptop, a desktop computer, a microphone, the speaker. These ones are still needed in this item too. Then we shall also need others like a projector and a projector screen. We shall also need like a VGA cable here. We shall also need a maybe HDMI cable if your projector or laptop doesn't use VGA. You can use HDMI. We may need maybe a flash disk or an external storage device, such as that external hard disk drive, so that you can use it for backup. We may need an interruptible power supply, a UPS. In case power goes off abruptly, we can be able to proceed for some minutes. Then we may need a pointer, a presentation pointer that will enable the presenter to point on devices like the way I'm doing. You need this device. Okay, so Let's now look at how best we can explain these items. One, we need a laptop or a desktop computer. How are we going to utilize this? So a laptop or a desktop computer, the function, this one, it acts as the central device for storing and running the multimedia files such as images, videos, and product designs. Remember, these are entrepreneurs. More to that, it is going to enable the facilitator to control the presentation and access online platforms for a live demonstration. Then we need a projector. The projector, this one, it projects the presentation onto a large screen, ensuring that there is visibility for all the 80 attendees, even at the back of the room. The projector also displays images, it displays videos and product designs in a high resolution. More to that, we need a projector screen. We have already seen those ones in the image. So this one, it provides a clear and smooth surface for displaying the projected content. It also enhances the quality of the images and videos by reducing glare or distortions. Then we need speakers. The speakers, these ones will amplify audio from videos or the live demonstrations, ensuring that there is clarity across the large hall. It also helps attendees to hear explanations and instructions without straining their ears. More to that, we need a microphone. So the microphone, this one is an input device, remember. So it allows the facilitator to speak clearly to all attendees, ensuring that the presentation is audible. Can be handheld, it can be wireless, or it can be a headset based, depending on the mobility needs. Then I also talked about a clicker or a remote control. So this one, it enables the facilitator to navigate through slides and multimedia content from a distance. You don't need to keep seated on your computer or standing near the computer. More to that, the remote control or the clicker, it improves engagement by allowing the facilitator to move freely while presenting. We need a power backup or a UPS. This one, it ensures an interruptible power supply to the devices in case of outages. Then, it protects devices from power surges that could damage the equipment. More to that, external storage devices, such as external hard disk, a USB flash disk, or even someone can consider backing up the presentation on cloud storage. So this one serves as a backup for the presentation files in case the computer fails. It allows the facilitator to transfer files to other devices if needed. Because remember, some people normally say, please share with me the presentation, so you can easily share. Then we need cables and connectors, that is HDMI or VGA. So these ones, they connect the laptop or the computer to the projector and the speakers. Then it ensures that there is seamless transition of audio-visual content. So having identified these tools and explained what they do and how they function, then from there we can give how best can we going to set up. One, we are going to position the projector and the projection screen at the front of the hall for maximum visibility. Then we are going to connect the laptop or the computer, the desktop computer, to the projector using HDMI or VGA cable and test the connection. Then we are going to set up the speakers and connect them to the laptop or any computer you are going to use for clear audio. Then we are going to test the microphone to ensure it works without feedback or noise. Then we are going to organize the clicker or the mouse, the remote control for easy navigation of slides. Then we ensure that the power backup or the UPS is functional to avoid disruption. So here at least 2 scores for this, and then here we are looking at least a maximum of 6 scores. We have our introduction, then we can have our conclusion. By using the recommended hardware devices, the facilitator can deliver an engaging and impactful presentation during the entrepreneurship workshop. Then also proper setup and testing of the devices will ensure there is a smooth professional experience for all the 80 attendees. So this is our conclusion, which carries 1 score, and the format of the document is also going to carry 1 score, and in total we can say these are 11 scores. Then let's now look at the last item, where the task was saying we suggest ways the journalists can send the files to the editor without using the external hard drive directly, and explain the steps involved. So here we are going to first look at the scoring guide. So with our scoring guide here, you must give a focused introduction, which will carry 1 mark. Then you suggest appropriate methods for file transfer. At least if you have suggested and explained about 3 to 5 tools or more, such as cloud storage, file transfer services, or messaging apps, at least maximum 4 scores. Then if you have explained the steps for each, how they are going to be used, at least 5 scores maximum, and the scores will keep on reducing depending on how you have explained your tools or methods in details. Then conclusion, 1 mark. So from there, let's look at some of the responses and how best we can use them. I'm going to demonstrate how some of these are used so that we get used to them. So these are the expected response. Begin by giving the introduction. In urgent situations, ICT tools and online platforms offer effective alternatives for transferring large files without physical media. By leveraging these tools, the journalist can send the required files to the editor quickly and securely. So here, this is our introduction, and our introduction will carry 1 score. So these are some of the methods and steps we can use to transfer these files quickly. 1, think of cloud storage. So the cloud storage, we are going to use platforms like Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive. These ones, they allow users to upload files and share them with others via links or with email invitations. So here, if I log into my Gmail account, for example, here is my Gmail account. Let me switch on to, for example, this account. And from here, I come to Google Apps and I click Drive. So from here, when you click Drive, I can upload files. For example, I'm going to create a folder and I'm going to call it urgent files. I create this folder, which I've called urgent files. I open it. Then I will come and click this plus and I say upload. I can upload a folder, I can upload a file. Upload folder. From the desktop, I can look for what I want to share. For example, I would like to share Senior 3 KABS ICT support files. I double click that and say upload, upload. So these files are going to be uploaded immediately, and when these files are uploaded, you can now share. How do we share? You come here, you tap on share, then you say, when you tap on share, here you are going to type the link of the person you want to receive the files. For example, Benny Kakuru at gmail.com. I type that, then here you choose, is a viewer, a commenter, maybe is a commenter, then I say, here are the files, and I click on send. So the way Google Drive works is the way OneDrive works. You upload. So OneDrive is for Microsoft Outlook. Then for Google Drive is for Gmail. So at least I've demonstrated one method for Google Drive. Then steps. One, you can connect the external drive to the computer and access the saved files. Open a cloud storage such as Google Drive, upload the photos and videos like the way I have done, then generate a shareable link or send the invitation to the editor, then notify the editor and ensure that they have access. So here meaning that I'm going to come to my email. This is the email Kakuru Benard shared with you urgent files. I open, then from here I'm going to say open. So when I open, I will be able to see the files that were shared in the drive. So I open. After opening, I can see there is item 1, item 2. So I can click item 1. I'm seeing their images. Then from there are even other files. So here you are able to right click, for example, here and say download. So here you have the files with you downloaded. Here you can open, you can save the files. So here we have been able to see the steps involved. Then file transfer services. So here we can use services like we transfer, send anywhere, file mail. These ones, they enable you to transfer large files quickly without requiring even the recipients to have an account. So here, one, you are going to access the external hard drive on the computer. Then you visit a file transfer services like wetransfer.com. You upload the files to the service platform. Then you enter the person's email address. You can even type a message, which is optional. Then you send the files and share a confirmation email or link with the editor. So, for example, this wetransfer.com. So here you come to wetransfer.com. That is wetransfer.com. So here you press enter. When you reach wetransfer.com, you have to accept their terms and conditions. So from here they are saying you can transfer up to 2 GB for free. So here you can say, I just want to send files without even creating an account. I just want to send files. Then here, select your files. On the desktop, I can select still my folder. This one, I upload. From here, email. Click upload. Email, I can say benny.kakuru@gmail.com. Then your email, you the person who is sending, Kakuru Benard 5@gmail.com. Title, yes, the support files. Message, here are the files. Or someone can even say urgent files needed. Urgent files needed. Then you say transfer. So here you confirm. They are saying we have sent a verification email. So you will log into your email. You will find a notification there. We transfer. Here is the code. Copy that code. You come to we transfer website. Paste the verification code here. Verify. So the work is being transferred to the receiver, and the receiver will be able to download them. So here you can see, without even an account, so it is almost there. And so urgent files needed. So this is the link. Copy this link. Someone can even open a different web browser. For example, I can open this browser, and here I can paste my link, or the link that was sent on WhatsApp, the link sent to you by any means. So here you are able to click on that link and access your files. So here, accept the terms and conditions, you agree, then download. So here you are able to download the files sent to you. So here they are being downloaded. I can start download. They have been downloaded. That is the option that we talked about, which is for transfer files without an account. Then more to that, one can use email. If the files are not too heavy, we can use email services like Gmail or Outlook, the files that are usually less than 25 MBs. So open an email platform, compose the email, attach small sized photos or video clips, enter the editor's email address, send the email. So here we are saying go to your email account, you come to compose, put the mail benny.kakuru@gmail.com, subject photos and videos. Then you come here, attach, you look for those photos and videos. For example, I go to desktop, I look for the videos to attach. For example, I'm seeing a video here. These are very heavy, so we may need a small one. Or for example, this one. After attaching that very message, we can click on send. So when I go to that very email, this very email, we shall find that there is a new email, urgent files needed. So I can open. Oh, this was a link. This one hasn't come. Let's reload. It is here. So here you are able to go down and download the files. That was the second option of using email. More to that, we can use messaging apps, applications like WhatsApp, Telegram, or Microsoft Teams even enable sharing files directly. So here, access the files on the external drive via the computer, then open messaging app, attach the files, confirm the editors, and then after, you send. So meaning that I can go to my WhatsApp. When I open WhatsApp on my computer, for example, I would like to send them to Kakuru Benard, I will come to attach. Maybe it is a document or a video. I come, I look for it, attach it. After attaching, I click on send. So here, the files will be sent. You can see the tick. These ones have been sent. Then we give a conclusion. So using the cloud storage platforms, transfer services, or messaging apps, the journalists can quickly and efficiently send files to the editor without relying on the physical external drive. Each method ensures there is accessibility depending on the file size and urgency. So this is our conclusion. So our conclusion is 1 score, and also the format of the document, which is 1 mark. And here we are looking at all the 8 scores. So total 11 out of 11. So here we are done. Please contact me on these very numbers. Continue following me on my YouTube channel. When you type that link in your browser, you are able to come and access these videos here. Then here is Senior 1, end of year paper 2, ICT. So this is a practical paper and it takes 1 hour and 15 minutes. So the paper has 2 examination items. Answer 1 item in this paper. So when you look at item 1, it says the Green Planet Conservation Club at your school is planning a campaign to promote tree planting on campus. The event will take place on 5th March in the school garden starting at 9 a.m. Task: word process a letter inviting the head teacher, staff, and students to participate in the campaign and encourage them to bring tree seedlings. Format the letter to make it visually appealing and professional. That is item 1. Item 2, the student government is organizing a charity drive to collect funds and supplies for a local children's home. They need to draft an official letter inviting local businesses to participate. Task: A. Use a word processing software to create a formal invitation letter for the charity drive, addressing the details and benefits of participation. B. Format the letter to make it visually appealing and professional, adding any relevant graphics or logos if necessary. So a student will decide to do item 1 or item 2. So these are the two items. You can play, pause, you note down the items, item 1, item 2 as well. So here is the scoring guide or the evaluation grid you are going to follow. Item 1, where we are looking at tree planting campaign invitation letter. The task was saying create a professional and visual appealing letter inviting head teachers, staff, and students to participate in a tree planting campaign. So these are the basis of assessment, the skills needed, and the score. There must be a clear introduction, so clear and concise introduction explaining the purpose of the letter. So if you have done that, at least 3 scores in your introduction. If the introduction is partially clear, you can get 2 scores if some information is missing, or if it is minimal or unclear introduction, you get 1 score like that. Then the body or the content, you must include event details, that is date, time, location, and purpose and expectations, e.g. bringing tree seedlings and all that. You get 4 scores. If some details included but they lack clarity, 3 scores. If you have minimal or incomplete details provided, you get 2 scores or 1 mark like that. Then we need a professional tone and language. So if you have maintained a professional tone all through, you get 3 scores. If it is partially or minimal lapse somewhere, you get 2 scores. If the language is informal and inconsistent tone, 1 score. Then formatting and layout. If it has a proper structure, the header, salutation, body, closing, and signature with text aligned very well, you get 4 scores. If mostly structured and minor alignment issues, you get 3 scores. If you lack a clear structure, you get at least 1 mark like that. Then visually appealing, you must use bold headings, you must use appropriate fonts, line spacing, optional graphics, maybe logos for a professional letter, 3 marks maximum. If some are lacking, you have applied some, at least 2 scores like that. Minimal formatting or visual appeal, 1 score. Then you must be ready to print. Properly formatted and ready letter for printing with correct margins and alignment, 3 scores. And the scores will go on reducing like that. For item 2, for the charity drive invitation letter, the same almost what we have provided above, but you play, pause, and note down what has been listed in this letter. So I will provide this also in the video description. Please check it out. Then the scoring breakdown for both items, maximum score for each item, at least 20 points, so 20 scores. Introduction, 3 points. Body content and details, 4 scores. Professional tone, 3 scores. Formatting and layout, 4 scores. Visual appeal and enhancement, 3 points. Ready for printing where everything is clear, 3 scores. Total, 20. So I'll provide this in the video description. I've also attached a template, a letter that you can follow as you are awarding. So check it out. It will be in the video description. This guide has been included in the video description, and members, whenever I talk about video description, is that, for example, when you click on this video and you are watching it, please, below the title, you come down, you find links. So when you click that link, it takes you to where you are supposed to find those files. You download them, for example, approaches, you download that file. The papers, you also access them in the video link description. Utilize this video link description to copy the questions and also to get the support files as well and the responses. Jabress, continue subscribing to this YouTube channel and ensure that you are having access to all these materials. The books are still available for your grab. Please grab the books and continue learning in this holiday. These are my contacts. See you in the next video where we shall be looking at Senior 2 ICT. God bless.